Hey internet, how's it going? I'm just covering loose ends right now. So yeah, let's talk about the last episode of The Walking Dead. In this case, a lot of talking and a lot of preaching was fucking going on. And to put it simply, I like this one because it was a very calm and mellow episode to pull back from all of the death and all of them out fighting zombies and killing shit. Even though Morgan's episode was sort of a little bit more calm, his episode still sort of heavily fucking revolved around killing zombies, moving them away, and trying to keep them away from this man's what was it? Keep them away from this man's like property. So but pretty much summing this up though, this episode was they preached a lot in this episode because at first it went from and a lot of crazy conclusions happened because again, it's like Deanna's son Spencer went on to talk to the people who went to the food shares place, and I guess because Rick came back and half the zombies were on his ass and shit, and he had to close the gate, and then they were banging outside. That's when they decided to ration food, and the people who still live in the building, who still live on the inside, they really were trying their hardest to like just get all the food and just rummage through the food shares and just steal shit. And Spencer pretty much told them, like, listen, you can't do that because if you do, it's going to break our foundation and everybody's going to come over and then they're just going to be doing that and we're going to be like cutting our throats, to go out and get food and shit. Which is weird. I still don't know why they don't have a garden there. I really don't. But either way, that's what started that, which did give Deanna hope until she caught Spencer downstairs drinking, I believe it was whiskey or some shit like that. But he blamed her based upon why his brother died, which that's his own brother's fault, and why his father died. Again, not her fault. That's Pete's fault. But then again, this is the same society, man, which pretty much kept a fucking wife beater, man, abuser, man, in their community because he was just a doctor and shit. So but then she blames him for that, which really did sort of fuck with her to the point where she just wanted to handed all of her responsibilities over to Rick, which most likely he's either going to calm things down for her or things just get fucking crazier and crazier. But after that though, we do run into a few things with Ron and shit of him. Honestly, at this point, I think he really has a problem with Rick and what's going on with everybody. Because most of his stuff right now, he seems to try to come off as very controlling, as how he pretty much was talking to Carl when Carl asked him about Enos, and he was like, I don't care because she's doing this and that. And when Carl said he's about to go get her, he's like, no, you can't do that. And tried to physically force him to stop it. And it's like, dude, you can't physically stop Carl. You can you can barely physically stop your girlfriend. Like, stop that. But he does threaten to tell Rick if Carl left. But that did sort of work out in his favor. And I do believe that him and Rick, they finally had like a small bonding moment. Now, I don't know if that's going to end up like good or bad in the future, but what I can say is that that's not looking, but like hopefully this does end up looking really well after things go south. And there are two more speeches that I got to get through. The first one is when Jesse found one of their neighbors with her, like she slit her wrist and like she killed herself in her own house because I guess she thought that she wasn't going to make it past the day. Honestly, I don't know who even came up with that estimate. Was like, okay, there's zombies outside, they're going to break through and get us, within like a day. And honestly, maybe not a day, but with how many zombies are out there, it's eventually, well, not, unless they can get rid of them all, eventually that shit, it will fucking happen. But it cuts from that to the final one, which is Maggie talking about her pregnancy and her trying to force Aaron to go back because she doesn't want him to come with her, and also how she feels about Glenn leaving, because really her pregnancy is like the biggest thing that is going on right now. But really, with how things are going on, actually, man, like the main man isn't here yet. So best case scenario is that because all that blood got on Glenn, I believe that's something which is actually keeping him safe for right now. So until all these zombies can go away, everybody right now is in a very dark place. So for this episode, though, it did actually sort of seem as though like how this episode ended, though, with Rick going over to talk to Jessie and letting her know what is up and everything, because honestly, she's a fucking roller coaster. As he's talking to her and they're having a little like makeout session, they do sort of glance in upon one of the pieces of the wall, and it does seem either something's leaking from it or it's pretty loose. And really, things are not looking really well so far. However, it's really crazy to me, though. It's one thing that never really got me about Walking Dead, which I'm still questioning to this day. Like, in the very first season, they did something very smart, but I don't know why they don't do it again to kill off way more of the walkers, which would actually help them. But then again, they don't have any raincoats, so best case scenario is like that man, they don't do it because they don't have anything to protect their body. But I still wonder, why don't they, to thin out the horde, I'm like, why don't they just cover themselves in zombie blood, or do what Lee and Clementine did, when like you put some of the stuff on like an undershirt, or at least like upon like the outer part of your shirt, so that they don't sense you, and then that gives you the option to run through and just kill them all. It's wonderful for training and stuff like that, getting people used to this. But like, that's such a powerful thing that I don't know why they don't really do it all that much. Because really it would help them in taking out a lot of zombies. But then again, if you really think about it, though, it's like, but that also makes me wonder. It's like the reason why they probably don't do that is probably because it probably could lead to a higher thing of infection, or that thing I just said before, or probably because it's like they just don't want to smell like a zombie or something like that. But until then, that is something to think about. I'll catch you guys on next Jongravesshow. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.